All right, so let's talk about these connectors for a minute here. Well, specifically this one, I guess. So what's going on here is this turns out to be pretty much a reconciliation map. So like the recons pretty much work out of the box. Um, and the other thing too is if you're used to doing it with the design console, you would have normally have had to fill in all the attributes here, then go over to the process definition and map them all into the process definition reconciliation field mappings. And then you'd have to go back to over here to the rules and add a rule for the matching part of it. And then you'd have to come back here to the resource object and create the reconciliation profile. This thing seems to do all of that for you when you add a new attribute and click apply. The other thing it seems to do is it will add the change attribute. So when you look at the process definition, the tasks in the process definition, they're adding all the change events and the update events. So they're doing all that for you. I don't get why they're not adding the pre-pops. So I found this on the support site, and it basically says that you still have to go in with the design console and do the pre-pops, which is kind of weird because as soon as you click save here, it's going to create a new version, and then in order for you to add a pre-pop, you're going to have to create yet another version and then make that active. So you pretty much have to do it all in one swoop. If you can add the attribute in the design console, it definitely lets you do that, but then you still have to create the reconciliation profile. So unfortunately, now you have to do both if you want to get this done. So let's go ahead and add another attribute and see if we can get it right the first time. So we're going to do mobile phone this time. So that's mobile. We're going to call it cell phone here. And then over here, we're going to use the target attribute name that's in the target system. And then this time, I'm not going to make that mistake again. So yeah, we want to provision and reconcile this field. And if you need to change the length, you can do that over here. So we can make that 512, let's say, and do that. Okay, so now once we click apply, like this is going to create a new version, right? So, and it's going to create the reconciliation profile, except you can't really see it. So when you did it in the design console, you had to go rooting around and everything, but you could at least see what's going on. Now you're going to have to go poking around in MDS and find the profile, because that's where it lives. Time for an MDS viewer. An editor actually would be great too, because sometimes you might not like what this is doing. All right, so we did that, and a little bit of an explanation here. So what we're going to do now is come back in the next one, add a pre-pop, and then wire in the configuration part to take the new attribute, push it over, and add it to the create and all that stuff.